Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the Voice of the People. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
Every day I'm hustling, 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 hustling. Every day I'm hustling, 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 every day I'm hustling.
No matter what nobody say, man, Spirit, can't nobody fuck with me, man. You know, I can't be fucked with, you know.
Dazn Beyonce Productions.
Whether you pay to see me win, or you pay to see me lose, you're gonna pay. Fuck it, the kids still gotta eat. I don't have to watch, you know, any footage of a fighter. I mean, because I'm Floyd Mayweather, everybody gotta watch me. I knew eventually I was gonna have to fight Oscar Nova. I feel like he was straight up and down, no special effects.
BoxingVoice.com.
How can Canelo have the biggest deal? Your deal is for $300 million, and I made $350 million just in one fight. And you're fighting on an app.
BoxingVoice.com.
I'm a king, okay? I eat a feast. Every time I eat a feast. And when I get up from the table, I don't give a fuck who get the leftovers. At the end of the day, follow my green print.
Dazn Beyonce Productions.
BoxingVoice.com.
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another morning edition with the Boxing Voice Radio. I am your host, Nesta Gibbs. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at NestGTO. We're going to be talking a few topics this morning. I was going to hit you with a triple whammy, but my pre-pro fellas thought we should leave one of those topics out. So we've run with Shawn Porter calling Jaron Ennis overrated. Yes, Mr. Porter is calling Ennis overrated. Then we'll be discussing a possible Kambosos Ryan Garcia matchup, according to Robert Garcia and some leaked footage. Well, I won't say leaked, but definitely re-uploaded because the original interview was taken down due to this conspiracy. Shout out to London Runs Boxing, who re-uploaded the mysteriously deleted video, which has Robert Garcia saying that he was given a call by Lou DiBella, the promoter of George Kambosos. Lou DiBella called Robert Garcia under the impression he was calling Robert Diaz, the matchmaker and one of the VPs over at Golden Boy. So Robert played coy and listened to the plans that they had for matching Emmanuel Takago with Ryan, and if he's successful, he is to get Kambosos. So that video was deleted, but London Run Boxing had screen shared it, and he has the audio out there. And I'll play that in just a bit. But, yeah, those are the main topics that we're going to be discussing today. So you already know how it goes. If you're interested in giving your opinion, you know the number to call in, 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 time to voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. Don't forget, you could add Nestor Gibbs on Skype to be part of the conversation from anywhere in the world. So let's see here. We're going to pull up this audio. I guess that didn't work. We'll have to do it this way. There we go. All right, so I want to screen share it, obviously, to give London Runs Boxing his credit. Plus, let you guys see it for yourself. So here we are. Let's zoom in, right? Get a little zoom in. And then we'll go to the audio.
Promoted by Lou. Kambosos is with Lou DiBella. And Lou DiBella also promotes Ryan's next opponent, this kid from Africa.
Right.
Trained, I think trained and promoted by Lou DiBella. So maybe they did work something out with Golden Boy, where let's do this first.
Let's stop it there and give credit to the original uploader, but obviously he was asked to take it down or something happened because it magically, mysteriously disappeared from Little Giant Boxing. But he did do the interview with Robert, as you can see, and it disappeared. As you can tell from the title of London Runs Boxing, it says they disabled that Robert Garcia interview. So here's another one. Right, and this is the video of it. See, the media has been disabled, which means, in response to a copyright owner, I don't know what happened. Maybe London Runs Boxing got disabled because he, re-uploaded it. I don't know, but this is it. I'll stop it there. You know where to find it. Actually, I'll try and play a little more. They might flag this one though. You know how it is.
And then work on a big fight. I'm pretty sure that's probably what the direction they're looking at. Because look, Lou DiBella is my friend, and I'm gonna put him on the spot. Lou DiBella is my friend, and I'm not gonna say what he told me, but he called me thinking I was Robert Diaz.
Now that's it. I told you the rest of the story. I just wanted you to hear from the horse's mouth. You can go and find it because. Again, this says the media has been disabled, which means Little Giant Boxing probably flagged London Runs Boxing. That's how these dudes are. They don't consider this sharing. They consider this stealing. So, I'm just reporting the news. And the point is, Robert Garcia goes on to tell you that Lou DiBella called him, thinking he was Robert Diaz, the matchmaker for Golden Boy. So, he knows what's the plan. And he went as far as to say that they called him not once, but twice. Not once, but twice, So, and then in the second call, he just let him know, like, bro, this is Robert Garcia, not Robert Diaz. And, they all had a laugh and whatnot. But, look, he's spilling the beans here now, letting us know that there are some plans for a Ryan and Kambosos fight. Meanwhile, you got Kambosos on Twitter fighting with everybody that'll call him anything, and he's saying it's between Lomachenko and Haney, period. But then he's double downing on the fact that Dazn allegedly doesn't want Devin Haney or isn't interested in Devin Haney, which I just don't understand that. Why would they stop their interest in Devin? They've been showing so much and paying him so much. Why would they all of a sudden stop wanting to have Devin face for Undisputed? Now, only if they're doing a long play, which is obviously a flea flicker, right? It's a Hail Mary, to be honest. If we're going to use football terms, it's definitely a Hail Mary to believe that Ryan can beat Kambosos, then come back and make the super fight on Dazn. But based off the history of Ryan, I swear, if he were to happen to upset Kambosos, he would be a true diva. I don't think that we would get the Devin Haney fight, even if Brian brought those belts back to Dazn. Shout out to Ignorant Boxing in the chat. Yes, that's what Dan Rayfield is reporting. That Dazn is not interested in Devin Haney. But again, history does not show us that. History shows that they are interested in Devin Haney and they're financially invested in Devin Haney, is what, Devin Haney's career has shown us. At least his career on Dazn. So, quite strange to me. Why this is prolonging. And even stranger that Ryan would be getting an opportunity. But again, we've talked about Lou and the fact that he needs to, A, do the best possible fight for Kambosos. And maybe this isn't the best with Ryan because it's not a undisputed fight, but it's probably a big money fight because according to the reports, the fight with Kambosos and Ryan will be one that Dazn possibly explores pay-per-view, according to Dan Rayfield. He goes on in his article to say that De La Hoya said that if Kambosos Garcia is made, it would be a Dazn pay-per-view event. The streaming service once let us know that they were going to do a pay-per-view or the possibility of it. So maybe that's why Dazn, or the rumors of Dazn not having any interest in Devin, is because they don't think he can do pay-per-view or be the first to do a Dazn pay-per-view outside of Canelo. So they would rather chest the market maybe with a Ryan Garcia. But again, all speculation. What isn't speculation is obviously that Dan Rayfield is reporting and writing in his article that Devin, they have no interest in Devin, and they would possibly make this a pay-per-view with Ryan. So here we go. Just want to screen share that for you. This is from his Twitter, and his being Dan Rayfield, who's out here still doing some good work. So it looks like I got a super chat from James Benitez. Shout out to you. Good morning. Hope you get to work safe and enjoy your day, my man says. Been saying Ryan will be the face of 135, not Devin. I mean, it looks like they're doing everything in their power to keep Devin away from being the face. A man that's been paid so much money, all of a sudden, the network that's paid him all that money isn't interested in him. Sounds like cap, man. Sounds like cappity cap. But we'll see. We'll see how long it takes to unfold. We'll see, what eventually ends up happening. We'll see. So we got Marcus, who says, we continue to ignore the fact that Lou DiBella has said twice at this point that they aren't accepting offers and that they will be making the offers. Kambosos says send an offer. Lou says the opposite. Yeah, well, I don't think everyone's on the same page, and I think that's why when Bill was in studio with me, I was telling them, have you sat down? Like, you guys were in New York. Why wouldn't Eddie and you meet with Lou? So, we'll have to wait and see what's going on and why things are happening the way that they're happening for sure. But I wouldn't hold my breath, man. Even the Ryan possibility, he's obviously got to get through to Gago in order to get to Ryan. In order for Ryan to get to Kambosos. So that pushes the timeline back because Ryan already has an April date. So how long is Kambosos going to sit out? I don't know. It's all interesting. But listen, if you want to call in, I'm going to go ahead and put the phone number in the live chat just in case you want to call in and voice your opinion. You want to give us your thoughts on whether or not you believe that Jaron Ennis is overrated. According to Shawn Porter, he is overrated. His two biggest wins, obviously, are Sergey Lipinets, and then his most recent win is Thomas Delorme. Now, there are rumors that he'll be facing the guy that drew to Sergey Lipinets, and that's Castillo Clayton of Canada. He also just had a comeback fight with someone that I don't remember. But yes, Clayton versus Ennis, possibly for an eliminator. Ennis having maybe 28 fights, right? Or is it 26? Let me see. Let me double check. Maybe he got past the 28 and he's at 30 now. We'll double check. We're on Box Rec. He's got 28 fights, 26 knockouts. His last 4 fights are a knockout to Juan Carlos Abregu, getting out of jail in a week. He had a no contest with Chris Van Heerden due to a cut that was suffered by an accidental headbutt on Van Heerden's head. He put Lipinets down in rounds 4 and 6 and stopped them ultimately in the 6th. And he knocked out Thomas Delorme in 1. So we have a poll right here on our YouTube live channel right here at youtube.com/The Boxing Voice. I'm clicking the thumbs up button from a measly 46 to 47. We got over 235 people watching. If you haven't already done so, hit that thumbs up. You know it's going to help with the visibility of the show. You know it's going to put this episode in the eyes of other boxing fans that need to find a place to call in every morning or a show to listen to during their commute. Now, we do have a poll, and our poll obviously is asking, is Jaron Boots Ennis overrated? 40% of the public is saying yes, he's overrated. 42% is saying no. And then 18% saying Shawn Porter is just hating. So if you haven't already voted on our poll, come on over to YouTube and make a vote. Have your voice count for something, you know. So Shawn Porter said this on his Porterway podcast, you know, and we have that audio. So I'll pull that up in just a segundo and get it to you guys so that, you know, you can see. And shout out to Shawn Porter, you know, putting out some top-notch content. Something that we can go ahead and use on our show for talking points. So let me just go here and then do one of these. What are we going to do here? What are we going to do? We'll just upload it right here. Actually, should I give you a full screen? Yeah. Let's go with that. Nope, wrong one. I meant to do this. Bear with me. Producing on my own. No Young Trav.
Boots is overrated. Whoa. No, you don't want us to get carried away. You gotta see something. Boots is overrated. Get the hell Shawn. Shawn, you shut your mouth too over there. I think.
So that's it, though. You know, that was a very small clip, but he doubled down on it. He even put the little the caption so you know he ain't joking. You know, but Boots replied. He responded to this very quickly. Let me see here. I have those quotes as well. And they're right here. So let's see. All right. There we go. Let's pull these up. And this is the quote from the article. And the article's only picking up what Boots said on his own Instagram or Twitter. I can't forget where I seen he said it. But the point is, he said, and I quote, "I heard Shawn Porter said I was overrated. You were just saying I'm ready and too much for these guys. And you said you won't fight me. But keep that same energy, though. If I'm so overrated, then come out of retirement and fight me. Now people retire and I'm overrated." You know what I'm saying? So basically he's saying you hiding out under the comfort of being retired. You know, when you weren't retired, you were saying he was too much for these young boys. You were saying I ain't fighting him. Now all of a sudden you retired. Oh, he's overrated. So, you know, I don't know. We have to figure that one out amongst the community, how we feel about it. maybe he's just poking a bear. You know, Shawn Porter's a very intelligent guy. He runs a nice podcast. He's on Fox. Maybe he just knows what he's got to say these days to get the needle moving. You know, he definitely got us talking about it. And I seen other people, you know, running with this same topic this very same morning, which was striking, you know. But it's like, it's out there. You know, Boots is the new guy. You know, I seen World Boxing News calling Boots the new Floyd Mayweather. Yeah. And you know, I wonder, is boxing, do we always just associate everyone with Mayweather, or is there something about a person that we see in him that you know, that makes us associate him with Mayweather? Now, for Boots, I don't know what that would be. I think that they fight completely different. They have completely different styles and even ways of being. I mean, the only thing that I would wonder that I can assume that you can compare the two would be work ethic. You know, everyone I speak to says obviously Floyd was one of the hardest working, that no one could outwork him. And that's what they're saying these days about Boots. You know, that he's a hard worker. So I don't know how else can you compare Boots to Floyd Mayweather, but I'd be interested to hear what James Benitez has to say, as he believes that Boots is one of the greatest fighters to lace him up. Maybe he can find that comparison, or, you know, I don't know. Everyone is the new Floyd over there. That's what I'm saying, George Foster. Everyone gets compared to TBE, and I think it's a marketing plan. I mean, obviously, you know, we've seen Bob Arum do it with Jared Anderson and Wilder. Like, you got to associate your guy to one of the top guys or one of the best guys. It's the easiest, you know, marketing plan. It's how to build a fighter 101. AMG says, my only question is, why did they build Boots so slow? 28 fights and just now starting to step up. Did he not have an amateur career? Yeah, he had an amateur career. He just didn't have a big name promoter. He's always been with Cameron Duncan and some other people even smaller, and they weren't able to get television fights, you know? They signed with Cameron. You know, that was the first signing they did, and you know, who you choose is who you're in bed with. So, you know, had he chose an Al from the beginning or a Top Rank from the beginning, he would have gotten more publicity. Obviously, Top Rank hasn't worked out well for Terrence Crawford. It did good for Bradley. Bradley got 3 Pacquiao fights and ESPN commentating gig, you know. So it worked out for Bradley. You know, it didn't work out well for Mayweather. He had to leave and you know, do his own thing. But Boots is only 24, so there's really no rush. For the people that saying he's not built, I think he's doing just good at 24. You know, yeah, he doesn't have a belt like some of these other 24-year-olds or 20-year-olds, but he's still in his youth and busting into the scene in his youth. So these fights are being televised, so he's getting to be seen. And, you know, I just want to see what direction they're going to go. That's all. I want to know what direction they're going to go. We thought it was going to be Butayev. That ended out playing in a different manner. It looks like Stenonius, the mandatory of Ugas, will be on the undercard of Ugas Earl now, April 16th. So that's off the table. You know, the Clayton fight I like. Oh, Luis Reyes says he listened to the AB convo and it wasn't that bad. I don't know, man. I don't know. You know, I don't know. I don't think he should be saying anything like that. But it was on his Twitter. Shout out to Brandon who sent Boots Ennis. I figured it was Instagram or Twitter. But that's how it is these days, you know. Shout out to Instagram and Twitter and all forms of social media. You can follow the Boxing Voice at all forms of social media. But shout out to social media because everything becomes news, you know. And rightfully so. You know, Porter has something to say. Ennis has something to say. And Ennis at 24 would love Shawn Porter on his resume. It's the right age. See, Porter is, you know, brought up intelligently. His father's been in the sport. So they wanted him to get out before he was a Shane Mosley. You know, they used to train with Shane. Shane used to be kind of like a little trainer in Porter's camps. You know, Porter right now, what is he? Do we got an age on Mr. Porter? Let me see here. He is 34. So 10 years younger than Ennis. This is exactly how Canelo gets him. You know, 34, 35s, you know. Porter already went down in his last fight, something we're not accustomed to seeing. The issue is, if he got $4 million to fight for a world title versus Terrence Crawford, who was considered pound for pound one of the best, if not number one, there was risk and reward there. He got $4 million plus he got an opportunity at a title. What do you have to give Shawn Showtime Porter to fight Jaron Boots Ennis? It just financially, it's not there. This goes to show you that financially, some of these fights are just not there, and it's not a matter of Porter ducking Ennis, right? I mean, is there $5 million in the Showtime budget to pay for this fight? And will Porter really take $4 million? Is Ennis really entitled to $1 million? Never being a title challenger, never being an interim titleist, never having an IBO title, never having a regular belt, never having a WBA gold belt, never having a WBC silver. I mean, is he really worth $1 million? And if he is, isn't Porter more worthy of more than the last $4 million he took to take a risk for a belt? Now you asking him to fight an even younger dude that could possibly be more dangerous. Like, where do you find the money to make that fight? How do you make that fight? How do you make that fight? And this is what goes back to the Adrian Broner thing. You know, you tell Ennis and Shawn, according to Broner, hey, listen, we can't do this fight, but we can do this. I'll give you each $1 million and 50% of the pay-per-view. Do you believe in you? Or do you believe in guaranteed money? But the thing is, I don't see anyone out here really promoting their fight. You know, I don't see them really grabbing the bull by the horns and saying, okay, if the ball's in my court, if it's up to me how much I can sell, I'm about to go out here and do my thing. I see Montana Love doing that. I see him on his Instagram talking about, I got tickets hand in hand. I got hard copy tickets right here. Like, you know, some people think they're too big for certain things, you know? But nonetheless, I think that this fight isn't even, you know, financially possible. You know, if I'm Shawn, I'm not taking $4 million. Now, I never had $4 million. I never had $1 million. So I don't know the difference between 4 and 5, right? So I don't want to say Shawn would say no to fighting Boots for 5, no title. But then you still got to pay Boots anywhere between $500,000 and $1 million, which he's probably never gotten $500,000. I don't know. You guys could tell me. I've never checked his purses. But we are conducting a poll on our YouTube channel right now. Is Jaron Boots Ennis overrated? According to Shawn Porter, he is. And according to 42% of our viewing public, he is overrated. They've chosen the multiple choice answer that says, yes, he is overrated. 42% believe he's overrated. 41% believe no. But then there's another 17% that just believes Shawn Porter is just hating. Is he really hating? It's easy to believe that he is simply because obviously, he didn't take the fight. It's not like it was officially offered to him, but he was talked about the possibility of fighting the Virgils and the, Jaron Ennis's of the world. And he said, no, I'm not fighting those young guys. My eyes are focused on a rematch with, Earl Spence Jr. or a fight with Terrence Bud Crawford. He did that, and now he's retired. His father said he hadn't really been in it, right? That's why he didn't give him 100% in training. And Shawn is being pulled in many different directions. He's a husband now. He's a father. He has a successful podcast. He works on Fox. He's being pulled in many different directions, and maybe his heart isn't in it. But for Ennis, he don't want to hear none of that. For Ennis, I don't want to hear none of that. I just want to fight. You saying I'm overrated, well, let's prove it to the people. Show me I'm overrated. Prove it to me. Prove it to me. And here is Ennis and his exact quote, as you can see. And he's saying, I heard you, Shawn Porter. We went through this. Just wanted to show you. It is on his Twitter. Shout out to the producer that got it to me. But yeah, I would like the fight. I just don't see it happening. Again, I don't see where the money is, right? Like they had to put Porter versus Crawford on pay-per-view. And that only did 130. Now that was on ESPN Plus. So that could be one reason why it didn't do so well. Would Ennis and Porter do any better? I don't know. I highly doubt it because Porter would be the retired A-side. So hard to really know how it would play out. You need some Middle East money, or you need some Dazn money. Those guys are Americans, and maybe they can drive American subscriptions. But again, even if you're like a subscription-based company, doesn't necessarily have to be Dazn. I'm just saying, like, again, how many subscriptions do they bring in? How well are they known? Shout out to Daniel Jacobs and John Ryder that will be fighting this weekend. It's the only fight of the weekend, guys. Like, I mean, the only good thing. Let me see. I might have a little late interview. My man Ken Bank on It de Robles, he posted that he was sparring Tank. I'm a Tank fan. I'm trying to get that interview and see how that was. This is Ken Bank on It de Robles, and this is Tank. Tank out here looking slim with no date. Remember we did that show, man. He might be fighting Rolly, I never heard of Ken Bank on It, but he looked Puerto Rican. It looks like he got a little flag on his shoulder. But I want to find out all about you, champ. He looked like he might be from New York City because I see the Algiris, the Cordell Bookers, and the P.D. Pablos, the Tony Nassas, all in the comment section. So he might be a New Yorker. You know what I'm saying? New York, big city of dreams. This definitely in New York, right? Because this AB Boxing News, Jessica took the picture, it looks like. But yeah, he's hitting me up as we speak, so I might slip him on if he's available and then get that little interview, see how that work was. Yeah, man. But once again, if you want to call in, you know the number to do so, 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 one time. Voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. So how do we assess overrated? How do we know if one is overrated, right? Like, how do we know? What is overrated? What is overrated, right? So the Webster's dictionary definition is rated or valued too highly. Valued too highly. See, that has me questioning whether or not he's overrated. Because I think there is a high value in Jaron Boots Ennis. You know, whether you believe he belongs in this generation's class of welterweights with the Earls and Crawfords, you must believe that he will be in the top of the class with guys like the generation before him, the Conor Benns, the Virgil Ortizes, himself, Michael Mickinson's, those welterweights, you know, Michael Fox, Luke Santamaria, like, he's definitely in the right. He's above those guys. Listen, out of all those welterweights, right, the new generation, the new crop coming up, no one is really pushing anyone to fight any of the big names, like a Thurman, like a Crawford, like a Earl. But the name that keeps being brought up is definitely Ennis. People want to see Ennis in there with Crawford, Earl, Thurman. Now, there are a fraction of people that want to see Virgil in some of those fights, but his own team has decided not to take those fights. His own team has turned down those fights. So, Conor Benn, I just read an article this morning where Eddie Hearn said that Conor is 3 fights away from bigger name fights. You know, so I don't know. Ennis seems to be the only one on the cusp and ready to go. And ready to go for big names. Now, can he do it? He hasn't proved it just yet, but we've seen other fighters get given the pass of the eye test. And if we're using the eye test, Ennis has passed pretty much everyone's eye test. But I do want to remind you, if you don't have DAZN, you can use my link right here in the description. Let me just go ahead and show you where it's at. Here I am screen sharing the actual live video as we speak, and it says right there, 1 free month of DAZN on TBV. Click that, and it'll open up so that you can get DAZN for this week and watch this right here. Let's see, not that message, but this. There we go. John Ryder versus Daniel Jacobs. That'll be on DAZN this weekend. 2 veteran super middleweights. Jacobs needing this fight, needing this win. It says it'll go on at 5 p.m. Eastern, which would be 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'll be doing a live fight chat for this from the studio, and it's a decent fight. I want to say a crossroads fight for Jacobs if he loses it, but definitely for Ryder, it would be the biggest win of his career if he can win this fight. So if you don't have DAZN, once again, my link in the description right here where it says 1 free month. They used to give you a free month. I doubt that's still happening. You should have been hip to the game by now, but this is it. Yeah, and it costs you nothing. You're just supporting your favorite podcast, making sure DAZN knows. We still letting boxing fans know the good word about the $8.83 per month app to get all their boxing. You know, obviously they can do a better job at giving us some boxing. You know, I could use more fan-friendly fights. Give me Bivol and Gilberto, please. Give me Callum Smith and Gilberto, right? Like, what's going on, bro? They have a lot of fights that they won't give us. I mean, And then everyone complains about the other sides of the street, whether that be Top Rank or PBC. But there's a lot of fights. Andre, he hasn't gotten any of those guys. And it sucks. Callum moves up to 75. Now Andre's moving up to 68. It's like, I don't know. But
Overrated.
Back to Boots Ennis, according to Shawn Porter, who called him.
Overrated.
I don't think so. I can see the skill, and you can see the fear that other people have in facing him. Not that they're afraid of him, but if anything, afraid of losing their O's or their position. Ennis seems willing to fight anyone. Has the money been put behind him? I'm not quite sure. We did have Bernie the Boxer on this show, and we begged him to talk to his team so that his team can at least go and entertain what it is Showtime and Espinosa may have available for Terrence Crawford. Because if you read any article with Terrence Crawford, you got guys like Eddie Hearn saying, they're interested, but they can't get him the fights. You got Tim Smith from PBC out here saying that Crawford wants too much money, even though he's never spoken to him. So I think it's up to Crawford to go out there and say what it is he wants or needs, or at least go and figure out what they can offer you over at Showtime and Showtime Sports. But I'm screen sharing on youtube.com/The Boxing Voice the rankings in the 147-pound division. And obviously, the Ring Magazine belt is vacant. Now, Earl Spence Jr. versus Yordanis Urgas takes place April 16th. And this may very well crown a Ring Magazine champion. I don't know that it would be fair of the Ring to wait for Undisputed, because in other divisions they don't necessarily do that. If you consider Callum Smith at 68, he won the Muhammad Ali Trophy, the Super WBA, the Diamond Belt, and the Ring Belt for going through the tournament. He wasn't the undisputed champion. So if Earl were to get 3 out of 4 belts, it's clear that he's the number 1 welterweight. And then Crawford would just be the number 1 runner-up champion to face him. But I think it would be unfair not to crown a Ring Magazine welterweight champion on April 16th, when it would be for a 3-belt unification. That being said, though, in the top 10 of the Ring, Cody Crowley breaks the top 10. Shout out to him. Congratulations. Conor Benn at number 9. Batiev, who's going to be facing Stanonius, who's number 6. Avanesian, who's with Frank Warren, so he won't get any opportunities with these big names. He'll get, something over there, like a Mickinson or something after, he fights Virgil. But Virgil's number 5 in the fight with Michael Mickinson. Ennis number 4, nothing scheduled, but rumor has it he'll be facing, Castillo Clayton, who's the IBF number 5. Ugas obviously in a fight with number 2, Earl Spence. And that's another thing. If number 2 and 3 face each other, how can they not be the Ring Magazine champion? I don't know. But you guys can tell me in the chat. Let me see what the chat is actually saying here. This fight is eligible for the Ring belt as 1 versus 3 in the rankings. There you go. Even though it has it as 2 versus 3. But I think the same. I think that this is worthy of a Ring Magazine belt. One guy, rather a group, two people are unifying. They're bringing together 3 belts. I hate to use Earl's exact same term, but that is a lot of heavy lifting. The person that did that does deserve to have that Ring Magazine belt. And then if Crawford is the next person, or whoever is the WBO belt holder at the time, they become number 1 by beating the number 1. But I don't think that in order to be the number one welterweight, you need all 4 belts. You know? But I'm going to go ahead and open up these phone lines. You already know the phone number to call in, 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 one time. Voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. Don't forget to add Nestor Gibbs on Skype to be part of the conversation. And we're having a bunch of conversations. Is Jaron Ennis overrated?
Overrated.
According to Shawn Porter, he is.
Overrated.
I never said he was.
Overrated.
I'm just reporting the news that Shawn Porter is saying.
Overrated.
That he's overrated, all right? Let's just be clear here. But, once again, you can add Nestor Gibbs on Skype to be part of the conversation, or use your landline or cell phone to call in at 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 one time to voice your opinion on the Voice of the People hotline. Let's go out to these quick little messages.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
Subscribe to youtube.com/theboxingvoice for the latest and greatest interviews with your favorite fighters.
All right. Let's see. Looks like I got somebody in Philadelphia. Let's see. All right. Rick in Philly. No, that is not Rick. That is not Rick. That may be a new number. All right, so Philadelphia, first time caller is from what I'm seeing. What's up, brother? Who's this?
This is Miguel Burgos.
Miguel Burgos. What's up? Would you happen to be Ethan Burgos' dad?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I just guessed that right there. I wasn't sure, but what's up? How are you, man? Pleasure to meet you. I follow your son for about a couple years now. He's looking good, man. I'm hoping he's gonna be the next Danny Garcia out of Philly.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. We appreciate your support, and he's been consistently working since he was small, man. And slowly but surely, man. He's only got 14 fights. He got a long way to go, and I'm just taking my time with him because we looking forward towards the pros, and I don't want to burn them out. So just letting them enjoy it,
For sure. So what got you into the sport?
Man, Philly, being from Philly, that's just a part of the environment, There's a bunch of gyms, and it gives a place where kids can stay off the streets, and, it builds confidence in the kids, and, a lot of people in my family boxed, and, it's something that I didn't really want him to get into, but he ended up loving it. And, I just there to support him, and try to put him around the best situation.
What'd you say your first name was? I'm sorry.
Miguel.
Oh, Miguel. So, Miguel, how old are you?
Me, I'm 45.
Oh, you're young. So did you start him out, or did you just take him straight to a trainer?
No, I started him out since he's been like 4 or 5 years old. He used to hit the pads and teach him how to punch, and a lot of handball, hand and eye coordination with the ball. And he used to play baseball, and then around 8 years old, he started going to a rec center. And we first started working with Dirk Gooden, which is a Grasshopper, a great trainer, great teacher. And then the rec center closed down, and we all kind of spread out, and I ended up in Bosie's.
And I was just about to go there because we talking about Shawn Porter calling your good friend.
Yeah, that's why I called in.
I know. I
Right.
figured he's calling your good friend Jaron Ennis overrated. So you being in the gym with him on a personal level, what do you think?
I mean, man, Shawn Porter's greatly mistaken, and I think he's retracting his statements that he said before, where he was giving him a lot of praise, and now I guess because too many people giving him too much praise, now he's kind of like trying to like switch it up. But everything you see in Boots, man, it's you see what you get, man. He's a great fighter. He works really hard. He's got a good team behind him. His family knows a lot about boxing. They've been in it for generations, and I believe he's the next great one. And it's an honor to be in that same gym and just learning off of them and just by watching them.
How many years have you been in that gym with them?
Well, I know they used to be in Harrogate, and we was downstairs and they were upstairs. So since then, Bo had the second floor upstairs, but he had a lot of fighters. So, my son was about, I think, like 5 or 6 years old. It's a picture on his Instagram of his two hands up. That's one around the time Ethan started in the gym. But since they've been in Philly 101, we've probably been there like maybe, I say about 3 or 4 years now.
And how long ago did Boots start working with him? Because I remember talking to your son, and he said that, Boots would work with him. I even seen something on Instagram like that. Like, how long has he taken a liking to him and physically helped him?
Yeah, he met Boots a few times. They usually come in during the daytime. We've worked with his brother, Pooh Ennis, which is Derek Ennis, the one that
the ball head one.
I guess there's a video of him sparring Canelo out there. I suggest y'all see that. And we work with Pooh, and he also worked with Greg Hackett from time to time, and also Shawn, because I get out of work at a certain time, so we get over there at night, usually like after 4. So those guys are in the daytime. But I've talked to Bo, and when Ethan gets old enough and he can start coming during the day, or maybe in the summertime, I'll let him train up there in the day hours. But for now, we on a different shift.
He looks like a big kid, though. How much does he weigh?
He's 14 years old. He just turned 14 a couple months ago, and he's about, right now, he's like 127, and he's like, I think like 5'6", maybe 5'7".
Yeah, that's big, man. Bradley was 5'8", 140, and 147.
Yeah, Ethan's long, man, and
he got that
it's just
Danny
a matter
Garcia
of getting
left hook, man, from early.
Yeah, he got power in both hands, man. I mean, he's blessed with that. That's God-given, man. He got his right hits harder than his hand, but he loved that left hook, man.
That's
yeah,
what's up.
so yeah, I mean, I was calling in to, comment on that, man. I think if Shawn, Porter feels that strongly about it, that he's overrated, maybe, he should come out of retirement and give Boots that, that fight. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these guys are running from them,
Yeah,
and,
I mean, I talked about that, though. Like, how much money is Shawn going to want? They gave him $4 million to fight Crawford for a belt. Like, and Crawford's 34 years old. You talking about asking him to fight a dude 10 years younger. Boots is 24, no belt.
Right.
Never fought for a title, any kind of title. Like, I don't know that fight could ever happen.
Well, the thing is about it is that, Shawn Porter he's a household name, and Boots is also coming up, and he's making a lot of noise. So I think anybody will buy that fight. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, if you're going to put Keith Thurman versus Barrios, you could definitely sell a Boots versus anybody, because one thing about Boots, he's an exciting fighter, man. Like, you anticipate a knockout coming. You know what I mean? So that's how I feel about it. I feel like
Miguel,
I feel like a lot of these guys are ducking him.
Nah, I mean, you ain't the only one that feels like that. I'm not saying I do, but that's definitely the word on the social media streets. But listen, let me get to some other callers, man. Thank you for calling in.
All right, you have a good day, man.
Obviously, keep doing what you're doing with your son, man. We wish you the best. I hope that he becomes a pro and he's the next Danny, and we can get him on the show and continue to tell your story, man. We was just talking about Jose Benavidez Sr. and the fact that he's 46 and, accomplished. Jose Jr. was able to win a WBA regular, and obviously David was able to win 2 WBC 168-pound titles. And, Jose Sr. is only 46 years old, man. That's a blessing, I believe so, it's an accomplishment. I think so. And, I want to just make sure that, he gets his credit, man. I think that's amazing, especially, starting yourself, not knowing anything about boxing, not being a boxer yourself. Jose's story is so intriguing, man. So we got our own couple of coach father, coach fathers in the community that are raising their children and going through tournaments. Shout out to obviously Adrian, who is a father but isn't putting his son through it, but doing it out of his boxing club, taking his kids to the nationals. Shout out to obviously JT in New Orleans, and thank you again to you, Miguel, for doing what you do with your son, and shout out to you. I'm gonna keep these phone lines moving. We're gonna go ahead and stay in Philadelphia. Actually, not Philadelphia. I'm sorry, but that area, kinda, right? It's like 2 more hours away. What's this? Baltimore. Who is this? I'm not sharp with the numbers today. This is Ra in Baltimore. What up?
Hey, yo, Mr. Gibbs, what's poppin', G?
What up? How are you, man?
What's up? Yo, so, Boots, is he overrated? Yes. Right now, though.
Wow.
Right now, he's overrated.
Why?
Right now.
What does overrated in boxing
not,
mean to you? Like, when you hear the word overrated, what it means to you?
He has skills, but he's not experienced enough. He's not ready yet.
Not ready for who, though? For what?
I think Shawn to come out of retirement and beat him.
Come on, you out here wilding, man.
Yo, Shawn to come out. He's more experienced. He got a lot of power. Boots ain't ready for that type of power. He's never felt. Yeah, Shawn to give him a run. And matter of fact, Thurman at 80% beat the hell out of Boots right now, bro.
All right, name a welterweight in his generation that could beat him.
That could be Boots right now?
Yeah.
I like to see him and Virgil. Why not him and Virgil?
You can see it all you want. Does he beat him?
That'll be a close fight.
So
that'll be a good fight. Boots need to be calling.
So that means you think Boots will win. What about Conor Benn and Boots?
Conor Benn. I'm not too.
Oh, you don't know Conor Ben?
He the UK dude?
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, Boots beats him.
He ain't get to your radar yet. Wow.
I mean, yeah, I've seen a little bit of him. Boots beats him. I mean, but Virgil Ortiz and Boots would be good. What's the other fight you just said? Boots and who?
Thurman.
Nah, Virgil. Thurman beats him at 80%. I'm about to be back at St. Pete to see Thurman's second half of his career. I want to witness greatness. So, give my boy a couple more, give him one more fight, one more tune-up. He'd be ready to finish his career by washing dudes, Spence, Crawford, whoever else. But, Boots need to just calm down, bro. You know what I mean? If Porter want to come out of retirement, Porter fighting, that'd be a good test for him. Shawn to hit him with a punch that we'll see if he's not overrated right now. You know what I mean? But Shawn to bring it to him. Word up. And Virgil Ortiz. Why don't he call out somebody? Virgil Ortiz need to come at him to make that fight happen. But I'm gonna tell you who's not overrated. Shakur Stevenson. Boxing is coming back. Everything is the belts is gonna come back to the tri-state area. Word up. And look, the kid from Baltimore, I never seen nobody allow that happen to their career. Like, that is just crazy. Like, yo, you looking wild as shit out here, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Like, even Copper just said it'd be weird if the kid from Baltimore, and I'm not calling him Tank until he start fighting top fighters. I'm gonna call him with Javon. I'm gonna call him with Lomachenko. Call him Javon. That's his name, Javon. Until he start fighting top fighters. Word up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I never seen no athlete. Even Stafford got out of Detroit for the sake of his career. How the fuck you just letting your career go in the toilet bin for money like that? Like, you know what I mean? Legacy is always better, bro.
What are we
Word
talking
up.
about here?
I'm saying that who's not overrated.
I'm just saying, but you saying people letting their
Shakur
career...
Stevenson is chasing greatness.
You saying people letting their career go and all this, like, Tank.
Yeah.
Tank
Javon.
the biggest name. He the biggest name. I gotta go, bro. You always find a way to hate on Tank, even when it's not even about him. I see you there. I see you. I hope you heard that I reported that he was working. He was working. Let me check my messages, see if this kid is available, because he was, he replied. And I'm like, yo, you up for an interview or what? Brandon, check your eye out on my man Ken. Bank on it. You know what I'm saying? Make sure Ken bank on it. All right, let me go out to Big Super Max. What up? Let me double check. Any super chats? Did we get any morning love? Any cafezino? Let me see. Oh, all right. My man James Benitez says, didn't Keith just duck Santa Maria? I mean, no, he chose, like, his words were, I was offered a few names and I chose the name who happened to be a former world champion, because they considered it, like, Keith was a regular. Remember, he was regular and then he got elevated. So fighters consider regulars champions, and he rather fight a former world champion than a non-champion in Santa Maria. But Santa Maria developing, man, because he struggled a little bit with Angel. Them first rounds, he got off. Then he kind of like took off in the middle and then was able to come on strong in the end. But he got to be more dominant when he gets in there with the bigger names. So it's good that he's getting his opportunity to, get his feet wet with other names out there. Shout out to Fred Robinson coming through with the super chat. And he says, these callers off the hook. Tank breaking the bank, but his career is suffering. Exaggerate. What is it? Exhausted emoji. That's an oxymoron. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, his career, I don't know why people mad at him. He's doing good, but we going to James Benitez. What up?
SDS promotion.
Real hate, man, that's like an art form, man. It's like you like a born hater, like myself.
Man, you know I really don't care about this boot shit, man.
I'm here to tell you right now.
The boot needs to just hurry up and just fight somebody that we actually give a damn about.
We don't care. We don't care.
Charlo with the little Instagram post or whatever with the signed signature. Man, there's no way in hell he signed up to fight no Canelo, man. Two other knockdowns that Wilder been knocked down and the footage been scrubbed off the internet, man. We all know that too.
Winner of the 9th annual Player Hater of the Year award is
James Benitez. I know what's coming this time.
I think I deserve that award too, man. Yo, good morning, Ness. How you doing?
What up? I hear you chuckling at your own intro, huh?
Yeah, man. Yeah, that shit funny, man. Brandon did his thing, man.
Yes, sir.
Now on to this boot stuff, man. I mean, Shawn sounds like that old man that's old man talking about back in his day or whatever, man, that's just angry at just the new young crop coming up, man. I'm not going to say Boots is overrated. I will say that he's overhyped. We do see the skills and everything, but he hasn't fought shit, man. He's really fought like a prospect level resume, man. I've really been saying that for the past couple of months, man. And I'm kind of glad that maybe Shawn has listened to the show and probably heard me say that. And it's like, you know what? That boy Benitez might be right. He might be on to something. But I don't think Shawn gets out of bed to fight Boots, man. He was more willing to jump out of retirement to fight the Conor Ben, man. So he must really see something that he don't want to fuck with when it comes to Boots, man. So,
Nah, I was going to say, well, all right.
I'm just in the middle of just trying to make this order real quick, man. I'm just trying to get my morning coffee, man. I ain't trying to be too cranky on the show or anything no more. But I will say, that last caller, man, he a big time hater, man. Talking about Tank, man. Only thing I'll say bad about Tank, man, Tank needs to fight like a prime contender, man. Because I mean, like, let's be honest, man. The Gamboa, shit, what? Even the Ruiz fight or whatnot. I mean,
Bro, he the second man to knock out Gamboa outside of Terrence Bud Crawford, who's arguably pound for pound number one. I mean, you guys keep thinking y'all better matchmakers than Leonard Allaby and Floyd Mayweather. Meanwhile, they building the shit out of Tank into a pay-per-view draw. He's already a household name amongst boxing fans.
I mean, but they still building though?
Yeah.
Like,
he only, what, 26? He only 26? He got another 10 years.
Man, for him to be the household name he is, man, he should have some real fights, man. And real quick about this weekend's fight, man. Ain't nobody gonna watch that shit, man. We just trying to watch the Super Bowl this weekend, man. Like, that shouldn't even be on any platform, man. That Jacobs and Ryder fight, man.
Where the Super Bowl at this weekend?
It's in L.A.
Oh, shit.
It's in L.A. It's gonna be right up the road from you.
So that might make Vegas busy, man.
Yeah, man. You might have some other shit to do instead of watching the Ryder Jacobs fight.
Nah, man, I'm a boxing fan. I'm gonna be doing that for sure. Live from the studio.
Probably the better interviews you're probably gonna get this weekend from all the people from the Super Bowl weekend, boxers. Just saying, man. You might just need to start reaching out, man.
I mean, we'll see.
I'm gonna keep the lines moving, man, but that's my call, Ness.
All right. Yeah, I see people in the chat not happy that I said they probably still building him. I mean, what's wrong with that? How old is Ryan? Ain't they still building him? Like, what's going on with y'all? Like, you want Tank to fight somebody, meanwhile Ryan fighting Emmanuel Tagagu. Ryan could have fought Joseph Diaz and found a way out. Ryan could have fought Fortuna, found a way out. Ryan could have fought Tank, found a way out. Pacquiao found a way out. Devin found a way out. But y'all crazy, man. Y'all crazy. Well, anyway, moving on. Big Super Max in the building. What is going on?
BoxingWords.com. Poloki, you are next, my friend. Por eso lo vuelvo a repetir. La era del Canelo es la mejor porque peleó con los mejores. La suerte es para los mediocres, my friend.
BoxingWords.com.
Yo, what's good, Ness? Good morning to you.
What up?
Yeah, I think, man, I think with, just like with everything these days in society, a lot of times, man, we're not looking at the context. Because I think it is what Porter's trying to say. I think he had a bad choice of words. But I don't know if you got to watch the broadcast of Keith Thurman and Barrios, but they had him and Joe Goosen put up their top 10 welterweights. I think it was him and Joe Goosen. And Joe Goosen had boots ahead of Ugas, and I think Shawn's issue is how is boots rated ahead of a world champion. So I don't necessarily think he's saying overrated as in he's not as good as we think, but I think he feels that he shouldn't be rated higher than a current world champion, which that's up for interpretation, man, because I personally feel like Boots would beat Ugas. I think he gives any of the top of those three champions, I think he gives them all trouble and could potentially beat all of them. That includes Spence, and I'm a Spence guy, so that tells you what I think about Boots, man.
So you say you think he beat Spence?
I think he could beat Spence, Crawford, or Ugas.
Wow.
I think he gives each of those guys a tough fight, man. I think I think he's ready for that level. But I think what Porter was trying to say is he just feels like he shouldn't be rated above a world champion currently until he wins the world. Somebody said he's fighting like prospect level fights, which is true, man. Every top new guy has this issue. Thurman had it, Errol had it, Boots is having it now. And as far as the other topic, man, like I keep saying, man, Ryan Garcia is Victor Ortiz 2.0. He's talked about retiring at 24. We'll see how long this guy really lasts, man. I don't expect a lot from Ryan Garcia. I really don't. I don't even really believe what he says, man. He as much as Oscar's my favorite fighter, when it comes to them two talking about fights, man, it's hard to believe anything comes out their mouth. at this point. So, but that's my call, champ.
All right. Let me see here. See if Adrian is in the building. So I got Mr. Steal Your Chin with the super chat, and he says, I'll say it again until somebody tells me, what did Bud Crawford accomplish by the age of 27? What did Bud accomplish? What did Bud Crawford accomplish by the age of 27? I'm not going to answer that or look for the answer. Let a Bud Crawford fan do that. I don't know. But remember that Bud had I want to say like a late start or something like that, in the sense that he got his first opportunity when he took a step up in class versus British Prescott on like 8 days short notice. Cameron Duncan didn't want to do it. Bomac was ready. Crawford was ready. They did it. HBO seen him kick Prescott's ass, and then they gave him a deal. Then he got like Sanabria and some other dude, and then he got like Lundy and I think maybe Derry Jean. You know, they start giving him the build up resume, you know. So yeah, that's why I'm saying people laughing at me like, oh, Tank, how you saying you know they still building him? Because plenty of people get built past 27, man. Like Mike Polite Coffee was 31, they was building him. Like all that matters is the end goal, man. This isn't a race, it's a marathon. The beauty of it is when people like Lomachenko and Shakur can make it a race and succeed on a high level, then that separates them. But it's not a race. It's a marathon. But buenos dias, Mr. Rowan.
I'm good. I beat Polly. I left with his belt and his girl.
It's a dollar beat.
Hey, Pops. What's my name one time? And I know all y'all against me. All that soft talking. I know you can do it, man. You got to. Just shut that soft ass shit up.
BoxingVoice.com.
Man, good morning, TBV. Good morning, Ness, man. How y'all doing?
Straight.
How was Vegas, brother? I was checking out the shows, man. Checking them out.
It's the dream, bro. You know it is. It's the dream.
That's what's up.
No complaints over here.
Nah, so what are you guys all talking about this morning? I was working. I've been checking in the show here and there when I can. Something about Ryan Garcia.
Well, we got a little bit of Ryan.
And
we got a lot of bit of Jaron Boots Ennis being called overrated by Shawn Porter. The Ryan portion of the show is more about Robert Garcia, the current trainer, revealing that he was given a call by Lou DiBella, who was under the assumption he was discussing business with Robert Diaz, matchmaker VP of Golden Boy, not Garcia, who he was on the phone with. He didn't double check who he was on the phone, and he went on to tell the business about Ryan and Tagago, and after Tagago, Ryan Kambosos. Kambosos doubled down and assures the world on Twitter that no, he's not in negotiations with no Ryan. He's only considering Loma and Devin. But obviously, we played the audio from Little Giant Boxing with Robert saying otherwise and saying, I'm going to put Lou on blast. He's my friend, but I'm going to tell him, man, he called me, yada, yada, you know. But yeah, man, that's what we're talking about. Most people are talking about this Jaron Boots Ennis not being overrated or being overrated. Some are going as far as a hype job. You know, he's only 24, though, you know, so I don't see.
I wouldn't say that he's overrated, but I would say that if you look at his level of competition, I wouldn't say that he's been tested at the highest level yet. He gets a lot of praise. He gets a lot of shine. I take nothing away from a boxer who gets to the level where they're getting eyes on them and people talking about him. But at the same time, I mean, you still got to look at the strength of his resume. I mean, were you even really checking for him hardcore until he knocked out Delorme? Right, that's who he knocked out, right? First round?
Yeah, but me particularly, I seen. Let's see, we all seen the Abregu fight. Hopefully, that was Showbox. And then the Dimitri Salita fighter, which is Eye Above. So I actually know Raymond Serrano. I did not watch that fight though. I did watch the Mike Arnudis fight, but that's about it. So I go back a little bit further than most people. Most people probably got hip to him when he made it to television on Showtime and Showbox, which was Eye Above, the Dimitri Salita fight, and Abregu, the dude that got out of jail with the bracelet, cut it off to fight him. But again, because I was local in the tri-state area, I caught the Serrano fight. I mean, the Marco Anudis fight.
I mean, so at the end of the day, I think it's just resume. I mean, I don't think that anyone's denying the fact that they think this kid's got skills. Like I told you when I was in Philadelphia, there's a lot of dudes in there talking about the guy's feared in the gyms. People, they ain't sticking their necks out there to really spar with him or do none of that. So you just got to show it at a certain level as you level up in boxing. And like you said, he's 24 years old. I mean, I don't know why these guys are trying to hurry up and be the first to do it when they can level up and get there the right way and hopefully be successful throughout their whole career. I mean, they only have so long and can only collect so much money before their time's up.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, who was that just called in? Man, I can't remember. Someone just called in and felt like, that was Joseph. Big Supermax said that Boots beats all the champions right now, Ugas, Spence, and Crawford. Let me get your thoughts on that.
I don't know. As much as I'd like to say, I just got to see Spence. I've not seen anyone really hurt Spence. We've seen him slow down a little bit in the Danny fight. But we gotta see what he looks like against Ugas. I mean, to be really honest, Boots looks good. I'm not saying he doesn't. I haven't personally watched him enough, so I'm not gonna give an uneducated opinion to say I've seen him enough to say that he'll beat all those champions. I mean, kind of what you guys were talking about, like let a Porter come out if he was still around. I mean, he seems to be the dude that goes against the champions.
I don't even want Porter. Like, at this point, the way that he went out, we couldn't trust Ken not to throw the towel in again. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, did Boots show us everything, or did we get another mercy stoppage?
Yeah. I mean, but I'm just saying, like, at the end of the day, it's like Boots is good. I mean, I see that. I think a Crawford, a Ugas, I mean, these dudes are older. They've been in the game longer. They earn their positions to where they're at. We'd have to see. I'm not going to bet against Crawford or Spence at this point against Boots because I haven't watched him enough. And I don't know what state Spence is going to be in. We're going to find that out after everything that's happened with the detached retina. I'm not really going to question Bud. Bud's, every time he steps to a level, he's shown that he's stopping people. So, I mean, there's not much to say there. But I don't think he beats those two, in my opinion, right now. The only one in question, maybe an Ugas.
What about Keith Thurman? You watched Saturday's fight?
I watched the replay. I watched the Dazn card instead. Okay. I mean, I just, how we talk about paying for pay-per-views to me that aren't pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to spend the money. Like, I thought about it. I was right there. I almost spent it, watched most of the Dazn and then whatever. But I couldn't pay $75 to watch him fight Barrios. I couldn't do it.
I get it. That's what you have to do. You got to let them know when it's a no, and the only way to do that is by not paying.
I mean, hey, I think a Keith Ennis fight would be good. I mean, if Keith's trying to go back at the top, I mean, a win over Ennis, if he can get it, I think would position him back into a good contention to where they can't ignore him. Because if he takes care of the up-and-coming young work, why wouldn't a Bud or a EJ eventually give him that shot?
Yeah.
I think the question comes down, do we think...
I think Keith put out an article, and I'm going to go to callers after this. Keith put out an article on Boxing Scene saying that if Barrios would have stepped on him and punched him in the stomach again, he'd have went down. So that means that, Ennis stops him. If Ennis hurts him to the body the way that he's been hurt to the body in the past, Ennis is a combination puncher, especially to the body. He'll take one to hit you to the body. He might end up stopping Thurman, but that's a great way for Thurman to show the world that he's back, If he can outbox a Ennis, it would make him a serious threat. I don't think that at this age he's looking to fight Ennis to get a shot. That's why he's talking the WBC medallion and pointing it in the camera, because he's trying to take the political route at a shot, not that doggy dog way. But let me get out to these callers. We're going to keep these lines moving, looking like we got 2022's Intro of the Year nominated by I.
I'm healthy, strong, and about to knock Earl Spence out in Jesus' name. I'm bringing the whole church.
SDS Promotions.
You win some, you lose some. But you live and light another day.
I got the whole Christian congregation behind me.
TheBoxingVoice.com.
In Jesus' name.
And we all know God only made one thing perfect, and that's my boxing ring.
So, no Davidian? No Davidian? Davidian? Buffalo Falls.
Yo, what's good, Nuts?
You busy? You at work? It's all good.
No, I'm at the gym, actually.
Oh, shit. All right, then. Do your thing. Big Fish Vega, are you available? Every time I go to Big Fish, we lose them. I got Potato Chip with a super chat who says, Ugas was gifted a win against Delorme, in my opinion. Don't think he's credible. Don't think he is a credible champion. I don't remember that. I would have to go back and watch that, but damn, who wants to go back and watch Ugas Delorme? I don't know. Could we rather watch Ugas Boots? That was one round. But let me double check on the Big Fish. If anyone isn't looking to talk, let me know so that we can keep it moving. Oh, he is available. All right, well, let's do it.
Let the little fish go so that we can catch the big fish later.
I'm the big dog at the welterweight division.
WBC and IBF welterweight champion of the world.
At the end of the day, I'm a way better fighter than Terrence Crawford.
TheBoxingVoice.com.
Me and Terrence Crawford on this side of the street.
We cleaning our side of the street, then we coming after Crawford.
60-40 or 7-30, whatever we get.
Say something else. Say something else.
Big Fish Vega.
Big Fish Mafia. It ain't a movement, it's a lifestyle.
SDS Promotions.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Good. Big ups to Big Fish Mafia, Davidian, JT, JP. Shout out to SDS Promotions. In regards to Boots being called overrated, I was listening to the Shawn Porter podcast, and he was more talking about how, we rated so high, but you got to do like Shawn Porter, who fought the who's and showed it in the ring. And that's one thing I feel that we're waiting with Ennis. The low man win first round. It was quite impressive. But we're gonna see him with a, top 5, someone in that conversation before we go ahead put him right below champions. Man, this Kambosos Garcia talk makes me want to hurl. It's disgusting. Ryan Garcia does not deserve that, in my opinion. I think it's more of it's really them just trying to push the zone and Haney to try to make this work. Kambosos is looking for certain number, I'm assuming, and he probably feels the zone can't afford it, and they're just, they're probably trying to make him sign some type of deal with them, or I'm sure there's a lot of things that go with it. But I feel he really wants the Haney fight to get that truly undisputed title. Man, and I guess that's all I got, man. So we can hit a little lame ass intro. I'm out.
All right. We going to Cincinnati. I got a bunch of callers on Blog Talk. Remember, if you feel like I haven't gone to you, it's because you haven't pressed 1. You got to hit that numero uno so that I know you want to talk.
Hello, ladies.
Anybody that knows me know I've been a player, whether it was in Alabama, Ohio, or anywhere around the globe.
TheBoxingVoice.com.
I've been smashing Telly Swifts, man. I didn't have to become a millionaire to get that caliber of woman. One of the people's choices, one of the fans' favorites, a guy that can galvanize this crowd such as myself.
He's too ugly to be the world champ. The world champ should be pretty like me.
The AJ of trucking. Whoop! Yep, Brandon in Cincinnati.
SDS Promotions.
Yo, Ness, what's going on, my man?
What up?
Man, let me shout out my boy Johnny Rice first and foremost. That's my brother. I agree with what like Supermax and Alex saying. When you put it in context, Shawn probably didn't say the skills are overrated. He's saying his ranking in boxing right now is overrated because y'all going off the eye test. And I've had Boots top.
People go off the eye test every day, B.
Well, let me tell you why you're a hypocrite though, Jack. I've had Boots top 5 for the past year or so, and I've said he was better than Porter, Danny, and Keith, and I've said those guys weren't that good. They were just products of good promotion at a time when PBC was thriving. But you motherfuckers are hypocrites because of the fact that y'all willing to put Boots on this pedestal off the eye test, but Bud Crawford, who had accomplished so much, resume was longer than my dick, y'all had to see him beat Shawn Porter to give him his props. So we need to stop picking and choosing when we want to use the eye test. That's why you motherfuckers is hypocrites. But do I think he's overrated? No, I don't think he's overrated because I've been saying he's top 5 for the past year. And as far as Kambosos and Ryan, I mean, Ryan's a pretty girl, man. The pretty girls always get more privilege. I mean, he's a good-looking kid. He can sell. So don't be surprised when he gets shit that other cats can't get. That's my call. Shout out to Johnny Rice again. That's my brother. Have a good one, Ness.
All right.
James Payne is my name, partner. How about you? Standing on my property and I'm gonna see about you. If I come out on my porch, I see you chilling in your wheel. Boy, I hope you know somebody better be waiting on the bitch. James Payne, baby, see me pissing on the post. If we're playing basketball, you might see me in the post.
TBV, how the audio sound?
Straight.
Sound good, James.
Straight. 9 AR was popping in Wisconsin. My guy Ness, man, Ness Heyman was popping in Florida on his way to Vegas to bust it wide open. It's me. It's James, Payne. It's lethal in the building. And the best part of waking up, y'all know the slogan from the 80s. TBV in my cup. And shout out to the TBV alumni that made that slogan world famous. Let's get into the call. Shawn Porter says that Boots may be a little overrated this morning. Man, I got to side with the 3-time welterweight champion contender and the 2-time welterweight champion on this one, man. He said you got to earn your stripes in the ring. Now, truth be told, Boots can only fight the guys that they put in front of him. So he's fighting the competition that they're giving to him, and he beating their ass like he should. And there's nothing wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? He's putting on impressive displays inside of the square circle, but we got to step up the competition level. We need somebody that has the name and the acclaim to take that high-risk, low-reward fight against Boots so Boots can put their ass on blast, too. I don't think that Shawn Porter want to get in there and show this young guy what's really popping, I don't think he gonna do that. You know, they ain't got enough money to get him out of bed and get him out his silk PJs to come back down and, you know, see what's popping with Boots. But he can offer his critiques. And I mean, Shawn should spice it up. He's at a level right now where he could offer critiques and be critical of these guys that's still active and making it happen. He's retired, so he can talk his shit, and he deserves to do so. So with that being said, Boots, let's see what you got, boss. I don't think you're gonna be contending for a welterweight championship in the next 2 years, but I'm wishing the best for you. I hope to see you do big things. I'm more interested to see the big fish return to the big pond and show that he can big swim still. But I'm still on upset watch because I'm terrified. Ugas is looking phenomenal. He's looking like he's gonna upset the world. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm hoping that I'm wrong and that big fish is big swimming, looking for bigger prey. So shout out to TBV, the illest, trillest, dopest boxing podcast in the galaxy. Third rock from the sun, if you don't know where you at astrologically. This is James, Payne, and I'm checking out, Chimp. Holla.
All right, James, thanks for calling in. I got Brandon Lenz with a super chat that says, AJ, you're trucking. Stay horny. Stay humble. Yeah, I mean, I guess that he wants that to be your tagline since AJ say,
stay hungry, stay humble.
Yeah, you know. I almost forgot what AJ says. Fred Robinson, he ain't said it in a minute, man. Fred Robinson, why are people talking about how much Ryan sells when his highest purse is like $250K? Well, actually, he said 200, but I'm automatically saying 250 because I remember it being 250. Let's see. Looks like we got Majid in Ohio. What up? No Majid, no Majid.
Bueller.
Hawk in Maryland. What's good?
Yo, what up, Ness? How y'all doing this morning? Adrian.
Straight.
How's it going, Hawk?
Good. Shit. I tried to catch y'all while I was sitting still. Now I'm on the go here. But as far as what Shawn Porter was saying, I think it's a difference from what he's saying to what it means as far as pertaining to Boots. Now, you talk about Nico Ali Walsh, Ali's grandson that they boost up. When he fight, that's a fighter that's overrated. When he fight, he don't do nothing like you expect coming from Ali's, other than his right hand. But you know, that's like an underperformance for what the hype be when he's about to fight. Now with Boots performs above board. So I just think when everybody start talking about Keith Thurman gonna get knocked out by Boots, Earl Spence, Terrence Crawford, that's everybody messing with Shawn Porter's era of fighters. So if they look bad to word of mouth, he's got to speak up. That's just like somebody talking bad about your group of guys, you know, that you came up with. So I just think he used the wrong word. When you use hype is overrated is different, and maybe overhyped, you know, to protect his group of guys coming up. That's the only way I can really see, because I don't believe Shawn Porter for half a second got in his mind that he would come back and fight a Boots. That's not going to happen. And he ain't even thinking about it like that. I just think he kind of speaking up for his group of guys because Boots don't have a good name on his record as far as one of the ex-champions or anything. But you can't deny the skills of Boots. So the only thing I can say is he might have meant it in a different way, in a hype sort of fashion. But I don't see it because Boots done showed up every time out there. But Keith Thurman, from the fight I saw, Keith Thurman's body looked like it belonged on another head should have been on it. Keith Thurman looked really old to me. He really looked old to me. He didn't look like the same Keith, especially in the face. He must have been living a hard life because his head, his face looked. He just looked at a lot older than in his last fight. He looked like he grew. He looked like he aged way more than 3 years in that fight from his last fight. So he did what he did, and I wasn't impressed with the performance. I thought he should have been able to take that guy out. And it seemed like he was being cautious, like he didn't want to get caught with nothing, opposed to just going in like he used to do with his shots. So, I really wasn't impressed with Keith in that fight. If he fights Terrence Crawford or Earl and them right now, I just don't see him going to 12 unless he just run around like that, like he do. Other than that, he can't mess with those guys. But that's my call. My call, Nets.
All right, Hawk. Thank you for calling in. We going to CYP. What up?
Yo. Listen, everybody knew that Aaron Rodgers was better than Brett Favre. Okay, we knew that, but he still had to wait his turn, and Brett Favre was jealous, stayed a couple more years when he shouldn't have. But we all knew that Aaron Rodgers was better than him. It was a matter of time. What I think is that Ugas versus Porter was so close. People still thought Ugas won. People thought Porter won. I scored it for Porter, but it definitely was close. So putting Boots above Ugas after beating Pac is literally saying Boots is also better than Porter. That's why Porter got offended. He got offended because hold on. He's a world champion. Shut up, fool. And I mean that. I usually respect Shawn, but I'm getting tired of these 4-belt dudes talking about world champion. No, dude, you're a belt holder. There's usually one dude. The rest of y'all are belt holders. I'm sick and tired of a dude who win one belt talking about he's the world champion. Man, there's not 4 gold medals. We're like, boxing is the only place where you can get a bronze, a silver, or a copper and talk about you Usain Bolt. No, you not. We all know that Shawn is on some seniority shit. He wants respect as a senior instead and not give respect to the young gun. I can tell you right now, if you ain't gonna jump in there and fight Boots and whoop Boots' ass, quit talking. Because you don't want no smoke with Boots. None of y'all want no smoke with Boots. In my opinion, the only person that can beat Boots right now, welterweight, right now this year, is Bud Crawford. And then next year, it may be nobody who could beat Bud. Who could beat Boots at welterweight. That's my opinion. And I'm going to stick to that. I'm going to roll with Bud in every single fight like I should have did with Mayweather back at fight number 10 so I could have been rich. I'm going to get rich off Boots because ain't none of y'all beating him and none of y'all want to fight him. So who cares if he's overrated, underrated, unless you're going to do something about it. You not. That's like trying to call young Mike Tyson overrated. Are you going to get your ass in there, Pinkston? Get your ass in there, Pinkston? I didn't think so. So don't call a man nothing unless you're willing to get up in there and prove that he's overrated, underrated, whatever rated. You ain't gonna do nothing about it. So sit back and just be like, well, agree to disagree. CYP out.
We got Fred Robinson back with super chat number 3. Shout out to you. Thank you for the support. And let me see here. He says Keith Thurman had them 10-ounce gloves on. 8-ounce would have got Mario hurt. I mean, I guess, man, but I just expected more, man. I don't know.
I mean, Mario did look fucked up, though.
Yeah, but,
at the end of it.
Tank fucked him up, though.
Yeah, hey,
looking
Tank dropped
and
him,
being is different. You know what I'm saying? Omar, what up?
So what's going on, Ness?
What's up?
Yeah, so listen, in terms of Shawn Porter's comments, man, what I think happened was I think word is getting to Shawn, similar to what people are saying here, which is that Boots beats both Crawford and Spence. So I think he's probably thinking this 24-year-old, right, who ain't been tested, is going up. People believe that he can beat Spence and Crawford based on what exactly? And, that's got to bite at his ego when he hears stuff like that, especially considering that really Boots ain't done enough for anyone to legit think that he's got, he can beat any of them. He's got to do more for me. I mean, it's similar to me when AJ was coming up, right? Because I'm an AJ fan. But when AJ was coming up, there was and he was 14, 15, and there was people telling me, and these were friends of mine, but they were casuals, and they were saying, "Oh, AJ would beat Tyson, he'd beat Lennox, he'd beat all this," and bearing in mind at the time, I thought AJ was the next big thing, but I came out of that thinking, "Gosh, AJ is overrated when it comes to certain people." So I think Shawn's probably he heard enough of it and just thought, I've had enough. This guy's overrated with people saying what the things he can do, but especially when there's no real fight to base that off. And I think his problem's going to be with Boots is these top level welterweight contenders, they're not going to fight him because they're going to look at it like, what's really in it for me? I mean, the money ain't going to be what they want it to be. They're probably looking up at the champions. And, I think it was James Payne that came on and said he's going to get a fight. He's probably going to fight for a title in 2 years. And I think the sad thing is, in 2 years' time, I don't think it will be Crawford or Spence in the other side of the ring when he's fighting for the belt.
Yeah, nah, it'd probably be a vacant title.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Probably
So it's a shame
vacant.
because I'd love for him to have a chance to show us where he is in terms of is he overrated, is he underrated? But unless until he becomes a world champion, I don't think we're gonna truly know where he is.
Mm-hmm. Well, all right. Omar, thank you for calling in. Paco, are you just listening like normal? Paco. All right. So, looks like we got Esteban in Oregon with love.
Good morning, Ned.
Buenos dias.
Buenos dias, brother. I'm just calling in to share my energy with everybody out there. Last caller sounded like he was from England. That's cool. I'm all the way in Oregon, on Pacific Coast. Right now I'm going for a little jog, a little run, a little shadow boxing.
Okay.
I just want to give my energy. Yeah. I don't want to take too long, Ness. I know you got the minute. And I just like when everybody call in so I can, know who's out there. And we got Border Words coming up May 7th. And I would like more people to participate. My weight is 168. But, Ness, can you find me a fight?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to be in that May 7th because I'm black and Mexican. I never fought on, Mexican Independence Day or weekend. So that's a dream of mine, Nestor.
Let's do it.
All right.
All
and
right.
Peace to y'all. And thank you, Nestor.
Thank you for calling in. Let me see here. That looks like everybody. Ness GTO, Instagram and Twitter. I got a bunch of callers on Blog Talk, but they have not pressed one. But Adrian, man, how'd the finals go, man? Nationals.
We made it to the semifinals, man. We lost. That was Kevin's third or fourth fight. The kid he fought was from California and he had like about 50 amateur fights already.
Oof.
So,
How do they match a dude with over 50 fights with a dude with 3 fights? That's crazy.
But listen, man, that's because we earned the right to get there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
but
Once
that
you hit
doesn't make
nationals,
sense,
that shit don't matter. You made it there. You put up or shut up.
Still don't make sense.
But he came back and did a little something in the third round. He came from adversity, so I had to give it to him because a lot of kids would have quit after a rough first round or two like that. And he came back and learned from it, and it's like we're going back to the drawing board. So all those little things I've been telling him he shouldn't do just because he's athletic, he learned why he shouldn't do them. So now he's not mad. He's like, I'm gonna go back to the drawing board and get better. So that's the attitude I want. But it was a good experience. I said hi to Kelvin Ford for you, Ness. He said to say what's up. A lot of big hitters. I seen JT down there. With his son. I missed his semifinal match. I started driving back to Wisconsin. I wanted to get back to my family sooner than later. But yeah, man, shout out to him, man. He out there killing it. But yeah, man, we got more tournaments and stuff coming up. Plus, like Esteban said, Border Wars, May 7th. Man, jump on in. It's going to be a really great event. It's not in Watertown now, you guys. It's in a much better area with stuff to do, especially in May. Ness has been out there. He'll tell you, man, Okachi on the lake is nice. It's going to be a really, really good event. I promise you guys. So make sure you come out, start posting some footage. Let's get these Border Wars shows going and get this back on track and on fire. It's Cinco de Mayo weekend. I'm sure we're going to have a good fight to watch afterwards. So yeah, let's make it an event.
All right. Well, that is about everybody, but I think Big Nick just jumped in, right? Big Nick. Nope, he was there, but he's gone. Oh, that's Lids Low. What's up, champ? How are you in Decatur, Georgia?
Get your ass in the ring and swing, man.
BoxingWords.com.
Hey, Daddy.
Boxing thinking man's game.
This a dollar beat.
Skill. Up here.
You gotta be outthink a motherfucker. That's what wins fights.
TBV was happening, man.
What up?
Everything kosher, man. Down here in Tuscaloosa running around screaming, "Go dog." I know you don't know nothing about that, Nick. But I just like to fuck with people. Let's go ahead and spit it. I got an inside track, right? Shawn Porter will not be fighting again. So everybody who thinking they want him back in the ring and all that shit is closed. And that's how I talk to you, solo about that. But what else we talking about? Oh, your Boots. Hey man, ain't nothing wrong with Boots, man. He passed the eye test with me. He is good. We can't say the man ain't good. Yeah, his resume. Y'all said the same thing about Bud. But look at the great guy he is. So, hey, shout out to Boots. Keep doing you. If you want that Bud fight, yes, you know what he got to do. Shit, come holler at her. Let's get it cracking. But shout out to everybody, man. Y'all stay up, stay positive. Shout out to, who just called in? My guy from Oregon.
Esteban.
Get Esteban to fight, man. That guy want to fight. And anybody else want to fight? Man, y'all get your ass in the ring and swing. You know how it go, man. Border War 14. Good. I'm out there count. Shout out to Adrian.
Shout out to Liz Lowe.
Yo, first of all, let me say, I don't pay Showtime to see you all there not even putting a goddamn motherfucking effort. If I want to see two motherfuckers just fight, I pick up a fight with somebody in the street. Don't need that shit. You don't love that sport, my dude? Just move along. Gone. Fuck you. Next. What a great show. Thumbs up, donate. Hey, yo! What's happening, people? Adrian! Adrian! Yo, Adrian, what the fuck going on with Porter hating on Booth, bro?
Man, I don't know, man. I think like some of the other people, man. He's the old guard, bro. He's he don't want to hear about this dude gonna beat the guys that he fought and either won or came up short. That he came up short against them. I don't think he wants to hear none of that.
Listen, Porter gotta stick to his commentary and his YouTube channel and chill, bro. He gotta relax. His time passed. I love you, mommy. His time passed. He gotta, you know what I'm saying? Realize that he already did what he did in the sport. Anyways, Ugas got fucking robbed. Ugas fucking beaten. Clear as day. I don't know what the fuck anybody's talking about. And if Bulls fight him, he will beat him too. Even if they were on his prime. Even if Shawn would have been on his prime. So fuck Shawn. Anyways, he never even came to fucking TVB. I think he came once on TVB for 20 minutes, nigga, like in 10 years. So what the fuck we giving love to Shawn? Fuck Shawn. We sticking to the new. Shout out to Booth. That's the man. I'm backing him up all the day. He passed the eye test. Everybody support the channel. Donate. Because the voice of the people ain't got no equal. As long people keep calling here, baby, this is number one. Gotta be outie. I'm out.
All right, Georgie, Boston, thank you for calling in. We're going to East Coast. About to say East Coast. This is Midwest, Chicago. Where's Chicago at? What's that considered? Windy City, I know that.
My town up in K-Town. Hey, Daddy, this a dollar beat.
I drink soda, I eat pizza, I hang out with chicks all day. These fighters still can't beat me. They fighting every day, they in the gym every day. Just give me 6 weeks, and I got it.
BoxingVoice.com.
Oh, good morning. You hear me, Ness?
Yes, sir. What's going
Morning,
on, brother?
Steve.
Hey, Adrian. How you doing?
Doing
Yeah,
well.
to me, this is a good example. This is an example of taking words out of context. Reporters and people on YouTube, they got a habit of doing that. You've done it yourself, Ness. But what he said, if you listen to the whole conversation. He said that, but then after he said because he's never fought like a title holder. So you have to take the whole thing into context. So I don't think he was hating. I think he was just comparing it to, hey, you've never even challenged for a title. So, let's slow everything down, But I'll be honest with you, the call of the day for me was CYP when he said, a lot of these guys are just belt holders and not real champions. When you got 4 belts, 5 belts, it's watered down. We don't know really who the true top guy is unless they fight each other. That was a excellent comment by him, because I look at it that way myself. So, yeah, until guys fight it, until these guys start fighting each other, we don't really know who the best is. So that's all I got.
All right. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be difficult to get another Shawn Porter, and people want these guys to quote unquote fight each other, but Shawn was the only one that fought everybody, and yeah, maybe people will say yeah because he lost, but he was at least trying to fight everybody, to see who he can beat. Everyone needs to do the same. They need to try and fight everybody to see who they can beat and who they cannot beat. You know what I mean? But it's become way more of a business than anything else, man. It just is what it is at this point. Money first, man. Money first is what is being considered these days.
Shawn Porter is like an end of an era fighter too. Like that dude did fight everybody, and he made it ugly for him too. It was always a good fight. Like I don't think I ever watched a Shawn Porter fight that wasn't like exciting at least. Because we got plenty of other guys who are great who put some fights on that, weren't so great, actually not on paper.
Mm-hmm. I got Big Fish Vega that says Border Wars 14 in Wisconsin on May 7th, introducing to the world to the Big Fish Vega. Gonna put on a show against a chubby weight. Shout out to Adrian. Who you got for him? What he talking about? What chubby weight? Because the guy I got ain't no chubby weight.
Nah, hey, I don't know. I have no clue.
I don't know. Maybe
that's a Ness Heyman deal right there, brother. That ain't one of mine.
Hey yo, your man, Ian, the cruiserweight.
Ian Gaddare.
Yeah,
Mr. Tracksuit.
Mr. McGregor. He reached out and I sent him Anthony Forbes fight. He ain't never come back.
I'll holler at him, man. I get at him out here.
See what up, man. He got me working in the background, ducking and shit. Who's this? Uh-oh, we got another one. Let me see here.
Nah, what's his name's looking for a fight too? Oscar Williams, man. He's having trouble, man. He's trying to lock somebody in.
Yeah, man. I mean, the original opponent is no longer fighting, so. Who is this? Looks like a new caller in Long Island. Who's this in Long Island?
Yeah, man. I'm the original opponent.
Hello?
Yes. Who's this?
Yeah, this is Mick.
Mick in Long Island?
Yeah.
What's up, brother?
Yeah, what's going on? I wanted to. I think that Boost isn't overrated. He need his shot just like fucking what's the name needed his shot and Thurman and he was running around saying Thurman ducked him.
Earl, you mean?
Yeah, what's going on? Just like when Spence was saying Thurman would give him a shot.
Yeah.
I think he to give him a shot back. But I would like to Crawford to get a shot because I feel like that's the one thing that he's missing aside from Spence is a legacy fight. Anybody else he fight, it's kind of like he's washing down all the names that's left standing, but they all out of their prime.
Yeah.
And one more thing
you got a radio playing in the background or something?
Yeah. Let me turn it down.
Yeah, that shit killing us. Muerte right now.
All right, better?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask too is do you think that Tank would have stopped Marios at that weight at 147 with the 10-ounce gloves?
because he was saying Barrios was claiming in the conferences that he was killing himself to make 140. So he could have been a little bit stronger, a little bit more durable at 47 with the 10 ounce well.
I mean, Barrios started his career at 122, man. He need to just decide where he gonna be at.
Yeah, that is true. So if Tank was to find his way with today's Thurman, who you got on that? How does that play out?
I don't know, man. You seen who did better with who. That's all I can tell you, man. I don't know. That'd be a good fight. That's a pay-per-view worthy fight. I pay for it. But listen, I gotta let you go. I got a super chat here from Potato Chip. He says, I was impressed with Keith's performance. Had Barrios looking like Gonzo from the Muppets after the fight.
he did look like he looks messed up, bro. He looked real messed up.
Yo, what'd he say the rest of, man? He said, made that boy cry in the post-fight interview. One time. Oh, man, hilarious. Let's see what else we got. We got D Nice that says, what's good, fellas? Shocking, no line 6 today. That's right? Shocking, line 6 Reed didn't call in, man.
I know you do a whole show basically on boots.
I know,
nothing.
man. Where you at, man? But we do have Pound for Pound in the building. Stainless, what's up, brother? Are you available or you just tuning in?
Red belt, black belt, WO and green. I'm king. Undisputed GOAT, TBE. And you can catch the news first on TBV. Voice of the people now let me speak. Scientists of the sweet, BOXING.
Yo, GBV, what's good?
What up?
You can hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yo, it's been a minute, man. Let me ask. I get confused. You were like going back and forth from Vegas to Florida. You getting ready to make the move?
I mean, nothing's official yet, man. But I should be making the move if everything works out.
So the studio kind of Vegas based then, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's definitely Vegas based.
So we need to go and make that TBV Vegas party appreciation thing, man. That's gonna be my first statement.
Soon enough.
Yeah, baby. On to this. It's the Boots conversation. Is Boots overrated according to what Shawn Porter said? That's what we talking about.
Yeah.
I don't think he overrated, man. I think we haven't seen him in there with the competition to rate him on whether or not he's elite. I mean, I think he's past prospect status. I think he's more into contender status as far as rating goes. I think he's a highly touted contender. So no, I don't think he's overrated. I just think he needs to be in there with that level of competition. We got a bad habit of that, because we want to see him in there with this person, but we not. And with those of us who haven't been in border wars, we start calling them tomato cans and all of that. But they still fighters and they still know what they're doing. So, do I consider him elite? I can't say that yet because I ain't seen him in there with elite competition. So, right now, based on what I've seen, I just rate him highly. I don't think he's overrated, though. But he do need that competition. But I got to get to work, man. I just walked in the door. This is my short day. I'm excited.
James drove me past your job the other day and shit. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
I can't.
Man, you should have stopped through, man. You should have stopped through.
I doubt you was there. We was up early, man. I doubt you was there. He just showed me.
If it was Monday, bro, I told you I worked them hours. I was here from 7 in the morning to 10 at night. You know what I'm saying? I'll be here, bro.
Probably was there then. Shit.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And as I tell all my TBV people, stop through here is on me. So next time, stop through, man. And to all my TBV people, as long as I'm being charitable, though, don't forget, because I haven't been able to mention it since you've been back and since you with the studio and everything. If you listening, go to that GoFundMe link. You know what I'm saying? Help us to sponsor JT with his sons with these boxing tournaments. I think, like I say, They TBV as far as I'm concerned. So we need to be looking out for our TBV fighters while we grooming them young. And everybody, like Info say, have a blessed, no stress day. I'm fresh up, man. I probably got only one blunt in me, and I'm fresh walking the door to work, just getting ready to clock in. So I'm gonna get to it. So as I always say, please make sure you push that thumbs up. Share this in every episode of the Boxing Voice podcast. This is TBV for life. And if you ain't on Patreon, it's because you stupid. Peace.
Peace. Rick, San Antonio, what up?
Hey, good morning, guys.
Morning.
So I saw the topic, boots being overrated. I don't know the context of how that happened on the Shawn Porter podcast because I didn't hear it. But I will say, in my opinion, he's not overrated. He needs time to get out there, start swimming in deeper waters, and then we'll see how he performs once he's in those deep waters. I don't see him sinking, so I see he's going to swim pretty far. That's my opinion on Boots. I'm really excited for the guy to see what he's going to do. And when it comes to Kambosos and the Ryan Garcia rumors that's been going on, obviously I would like to hear things from the horse's mouth. But if DeBella is over Ryan Garcia's next opponent, that means they're building that rapport, that relationship. So they're working towards that Kambosos and Ryan Garcia fight. That means Kambosos probably going to fight, whatever mandatory in Australia like he wants, because I know he wants to defend his titles there, which is cool, But if that fight's going to happen, it's probably going to be later in the year, which I understand. So I would want to see Lomachenko and Devin Haney next if they don't get Kambosos. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
Devin Haney and who?
Lomachenko.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Bill said he would do that in the studio.
Yeah, that's a fight I would love to see. I think that's a good matchup, and I think it puts them both in position for the Ryan Garcia Kambosos winner, should that fight happen, which it looks like based on what is floating around.
I mean, it just sucks that Devin would have to fight a non-titleist rather than undisputing when that's the natural order of things. I mean, Castaño fought Laura. That's all.
Yeah.
Laura's just as old
man.
as Linares, man. But listen, let me let you go, champ. Rick, San Antonio, thank you for calling in. But it's crazy the double standards, man. Like, one guy got to jump through hoops and fire, But that is all the callers, and I believe all the super chats. I'm refreshing. That's GTO, Instagram, and Twitter. Where can they find you, Adrian?
You can find me at Blackman Jones on Instagram. Just my good old government
LV
on Facebook,
Slugger.
Adrian Rowan.
I'm sorry. We're going to do that one more time. LV Slugger there. What up, champ? Apologies. They be slipping on that back card. You gotta have all eyes on it, man. Yeah, that's going to be difficult.
I got you, player. That's why I'm not behind the boards and control, brother.
Where is LV?
Only time y'all see me in Rays is when I turn into the Bronze Mama. I want a body, and he gonna be the body. The ambulance better be ready. The medical better be ready. The referee better be ready. They better have that towel to be able to throw it in.
SDS Promotions.
Was he right?
LV Slugger.
TBV, fellas, what up?
What up?
What's going on?
Yeah, what up? On the Porter thing, man, I believe when I heard it, what I'm saying, I think he was talking kind of crazy, but when you actually, look at the video, he explained what he meant. I can kind of feel what he's saying, what I'm saying. I don't think he's overrated. I think he should have used over a lot of the callers saying hype, over hype. You know what I'm saying? We definitely see the talent, but you got to think from where Porter comes from. We all know Porter for being a man that fought all the top welterweights of his era. We still waiting for all the other top welterweights to mix it up, but he's literally been in there with everybody and, gave them all tough fights. So, when when you see got this kid who coming up and ain't really, been in there with those top names, and they saying he can beat these guys, without really just displaying it. We, like I said, we see the talent, but he hasn't really just proven it with none of these big names. So, I could kind of see where he coming from. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think he's overrated. I think it's just more hype, more overhyped. But I do believe he will be, have a time where he's going to be, the top welterweight in the division one day. But it might not be against a Bud or Arrow. I hope so. But, eventually them guys probably will move up. But, he'll definitely have a crop of welterweights that he can, eventually get in there with. The Virgil fight, I feel like it'll be a unification. Conor Ben might win a belt one day. And, Josh Taylor eventually will move up. And he got that amateur rival and Gary Antoine Russell, eventually come. So I think he'll have a nice crop of welterweights, to where he can build his name at the welterweight division. But hopefully he do get them top names. I think he'll have to go the Mando route. Nobody's gonna just give him a shot. So, I kind of see where Porter was coming from, though. I believe he just used the wrong word. But on the Kambosos Ryan tip, man, I definitely rebuke that one, man. Like, that's some bullshit right there. I hope Ryan don't get it, man. This man been inactive, ain't really did nothing, hasn't done nothing. I feel like a Cruz deserve a shot over Ryan, because Ryan ain't been out here doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? All this, he brings a lot to the table. I mean, he brings a fan base, but, on paper, I believe Kambosos done made more money than Ryan. So, you know what I'm saying? I rebuke that fight, man. I hope we don't get the fight. I feel like it's one fight at 135 we need to see, and that's the Kambosos Devin finally get some closure to that undisputed. So, I mean, hopefully we get it, and, that's my call, man.
All right. Now, that is everyone.
Man, I just want to say one thing on that Ryan Garcia thing. Like, I don't know why I know why he gets chances, but like, man, I just feel like if Kambosos goes that route, he's looking to keep them belts just a little bit longer, like before risking them. Because I think Kambosos beats Ryan.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
So my thing is, like, I feel like Ryan, if he goes that route, does a Mando, and then tries to go for Ryan, I think that's just a route, an easier route to hold on to your belts. Because Devin Haney makes sense, because then you clarify who's actually undisputed in the division. I mean, if you're not gonna do that, I mean, going after Ryan, I mean, I feel like he's going after him early. I mean, Kambosos showed he's focused. He showed he can fight. And what's Ryan shown us? I mean, he fought through one knockdown, the first time, and then had a mental breakdown, and he hasn't fought since.
Yep.
Man, I don't know. You kind of like taking he might be damaged. You're taking a damaged dude. You're gonna hold on to that. If you beat Ryan, you get a lot of whatever for it. But I mean, at the end of the day, we really just want to see Haney.
I got a super chat from James Benitez. More than number 3. Let me go ahead and ring the alarm. He says, Devin not gonna get the fight at 135 and shot. We all know it. What? Okay, we all know an ish load of fighters who stopped Devin at 140. You better convince him to stay at 135. He crazy. He be hating on Devin. No thoughts? All right. Yo, we out. Nest GTO, Instagram. And there goes James with another one. Adrian, keep thinking Ryan light work. Uh-oh.
It's not even that I think that he's light work. I just think who's he beat. Like, his resume is not, like, superstar. I'm not saying he doesn't have skill, but, like, then again, here's another guy who's, what do we consider Ryan? Is he a top prospect at this point, this many fights in, or is he a top contender? What do you think, Ness?
Is Ryan a top prospect or a top contender?
Yeah. Which one?
He's one of the top contenders. It's true, because he's not a champion, and in terms of non-champions, he's one of the most luxurious, right? Because Tio's considered a former world champion. Devon's considered a champion. Kambosos is a unified champion. Vasyl Lomachenko, again, former champion. So I guess, yeah, he's a top contender.
So he's a top contender to a guy who beat the guy who had the belts, who beat the guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, Tio beat Loma, Kambosos beat Tio. So the way I look at it, like, level of competition, Ryan just, like, I don't think, would you say Kambosos would be his hardest fight if he fought Kambosos? Do we think that what's his name was a better fighter than Kambosos? What's the last dude he fought that knocked him down?
Who?
Campbell.
Campbell. Yeah, I think Kambosos would be a tougher fight than Campbell. Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. It's his toughest fight. It's not that Ryan's light work. It's just that's a real step up fight for those belts. Like, I just don't think Kambosos is a slouch like that. I think you really have to be on your A game, and we got to see if Ryan's mentally there. He's got all the skills in the world, but something's going on in his head. You know, if he has certain issues.
We got James Benitez with another one. He says, Taylor, Lee, Love, Tank, Prograis, stop Devin. I think you're so wrong. I would love those fights to happen. I think he's wrong. But he's back with another one. Do you feel comfortable putting in the ring with Gary Antoine, Ryan, Taylor, Love? No. Stop capping for Bill, Ness. You're crazy, bruh. Bruh, go watch Samuel Teal versus Montana Love. Obviously, he's grown and gotten better, but, you know, there's a code for everyone, you know, except Mayweather. No one cracked that one. The May Vinci code wasn't able to get cracked. But, yeah, man, there's blueprints out there. I don't know, man. This guy's going all in on Devin. That's crazy, man. This is why Devin needs the Kambosos fight, man. I would be so happy for him to get it, and it's the same thing like when Wilder, you know, this is the same thing Wilder went through, you know, the lack of belief. And I just prefer them to get the fight so that we can move on, because they stay stuck on whether or not they deserve it or not. But anyway, that is the last super chat and the last caller.
Yeah, man, sometimes they just drag that shit out to stretch more fights and to get more money, and it fucks it up sometimes. Like, sometimes they try to do that and then shit happens and it gets complicated again. I mean, look at the heavyweight division.
For real, bro. But dropping that bomb for James Benitez for shaking it up, adding some spice to the show. We appreciate you. Looks like that's everybody. So Ness GTO for the last time. We up out of here to the next one. Peace.
Black Man Jones on Instagram, Adrian Rowan on Facebook. Y'all have a good one.
Yes, sir.